Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Everyday Heroes podcast. Today, we are talking about how to set your child up for success for the school year. Now, for some in Victoria, some children have gone back to school today, and some are going back tomorrow, and some are going back next week. So it's a bit all over the place, but I think that this podcast is going to be so helpful, whether you're starting your child's school this year or not. Oh, sorry, not this year, this week or not. It is a place for you to come back to next week, the week after, week 5, week 8, right? It might be that you come back to this episode in term 4. It's one of those things that we need to prepare our children because for a multitude of reasons, some children are changing schools midway through the year. Other kids are coming back from maybe their dealing with school can't, which essentially is like school refusal. And so they're coming back into the school term again in a different time of year. And so we just want to get them prepped. Wherever your child is at, these tips are going to be something that are going to help you. These tips are going to be the things that are going to get your child across the line that maybe that you haven't actually thought of before. And if you are a newbie and you're just starting this journey and maybe you haven't found a speechy or an OT, these tips are going to be invaluable for you because they're going to be things that potentially, not always, but potentially that your speech and OT might suggest anyway. So if you haven't gotten to that point, get ready with your pen and paper because today is going to be a good one. Now, I've put together 12 prompts, 12 tips that I have found helpful over the years. These have been things when we started kinder. These were things when we started daycare, when we started primary school, right? When we changed schools. These were things when, even with homeschooling, there was a specific routine that we really stuck to so that it could help any parent, any child in anywhere. So these are in no particular order. They are, I just basically did a bit of a jot form as to what I have found helpful. So we speak about vision boarding all the time. I know I speak about it a lot. I just spoke about the word of the year. If you haven't seen that post on socials, let me know. I'll send it through to you. A word of the year is super helpful, right? And you often hear on podcasts and speakers talking about, having this idea of having a vision of your future, right? And we're aiming that at adults. We're aiming that at what do you want for your life? How do you want your life to look? What would make you feel successful if you had those things in your life? But what I'm saying to you on this one is, how about you vision board with your child and get your child to set up their own vision board? What does that look like? Grab a whole bunch of magazines. You can print things. Of course, we've got Canva now, so print things off Canva. You can do it anywhere and anyhow. But what we want to do is create an idea around what your child's year what do they want it to look like. It might be that they want new friendships. They might want it to be a quiet space. They might want this year where they can really master a specific skill or sport that they've been working towards. They might be wanting to try a new food, right? They might want to gain more confidence to go to a birthday party. There are so many different things. Sit down with your child and talk about it. Now, if this is something where your child is verbal, this is a great exercise. If your child is non-speaking, that's okay. Let's go through a whole bunch of, I want you to cut out images of things that you think they would like, right? And cut them out, put them all on the table. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put them on side by side, the pictures, and you're going to say, which one do you like? The eating the strawberry or eating the raspberry. For instance, if we were looking at trying new fruit, hopefully they are able to point, hopefully they're able to say one word, and you can add that to the board, right? If they are speaking, obviously we can do that a lot more fluid and you can choose, and they can be really helpful in the way of how they design their vision board. I wouldn't say to you, cover the entire board, leave plenty of space. We want just a few pictures up there so that there's something that they can aim towards, because it's not just us as adults that are going to be dealing with the vision board, it's kids too. And the more that we get them into that routine, that becomes a habit for them, so that when they become adults, it's already ingrained in them and it's not something that they have to really try to work at. Okay, now this is probably something that a lot of parents already know, but I'm going to put it out there anyway. A social story for the morning. Okay, this might be done in pictures. You might have, okay, waking up, you're going to get out of bed. Maybe you're going to make your bed. Maybe you're going to brush your teeth. You're going to get changed. You're going to come out of your bedroom. You're going to have breakfast. You're going to, clean up the breakfast if that is something on your morning board. Then we're going to put our socks and shoes on, maybe pack our lunch boxes or help mum pack lunch boxes, and we're out the door. It sets the stage for what the child is expecting in the morning. So there's less anxiety, there's less overwhelm, there's less nervousness to know what's next. I can see what's going to happen, and they can just take it off and put it either in a finish box, they can put it onto the other side of the page, they can do a tick, they can put a magnetic button on there. There are so many different things that they can do that will be helpful for them to understand what they need to achieve. And then as they become habits, they're like, okay, cool, I know what to expect, I know what to do. That's great. This is something so this is number 3, which a lot of people miss. And I really want to point this out because I think that this is super, super duper important. A lot of parents, a lot of therapists are really focused on the morning routine. Great. Love me a morning routine. But what about the afternoon routine? What about what happens when the child comes home? There needs to be structure, just as much as like the amount of structure that we put in the morning, there needs to be the same amount of structure in the afternoon as well. So what we're doing is we are going to put this in an afternoon format. We are going to make sure that you can see what's going on in the afternoon. What is happening in the afternoon? Are they coming home? And I've just written down some things. So are they having their favorite snack as soon as they get home? Are they listening to their favorite music when they get home? Are they going to be watching their TV show, their favorite TV show, and doing homework straight after? Are they taking a shower to wash off their worries, right? Is that something that they want to do so that they can feel like, oh, okay, the worries that happened for today are literally just coming right off, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. This is a really good sensory strategy, jumping in the shower or a bath as soon as they get home, because they can feel like they don't have that negative tension in their bodies, which can, a lot of the time when we're at school, a lot of the kids are up here. They're constantly thinking, worrying, they're nervous, they're not sure how it's going to react. Then once they relax, they get back into their body, take a big breath and just get out of their head and back into their body, which is where we want ourselves, when we want our kids to be. The fourth one is creating a poster of the About Me poster. Love this. It's a really cool, fun way you can do things leading up to going into school. If you've already started school, that's okay. Take a weekend and figure out what is it that you love. And this is especially important for our non-speaking kids. Okay, what are their loves? What are their likes, their dislikes? Disliking maybe loud noises. They love ice cream, or maybe they love strawberries and blueberries. What are the things that they love that they know that is going to be a regulation tool? Because this is such important information for a teacher. So, for example, my angel boy did not do well with kinder, just the sheer amount of noise, and there was a lot of regulation techniques that needed to happen. Now, his trains were something that he loved. Trains, even to this day, if you were to come to my house, there would be so many trains set up that it would look like an entire city of train tracks. And the way that he puts them together is so intricate. And I'm constantly blown away by how he does it. So trains for him has always been a sense of regulation. So we always made sure that there was a train set when he was going to kinder, when he was going to school, a place that he could go and set up and just feel like, okay, I can get back into here, I can get back into my body and feel good and not feel stressed and overwhelmed, because once that hyper focus is coming in, you're less likely to think about the outside noise and really just focus on what the task is at hand. So that is something that I absolutely love and encourage, even for typical kids. I encourage everybody to create a poster of an about me poster around what it is that they love, they dislike, and how can they better assist with the teacher. I would also, this is number 5, I would ask the teacher to do the exact same thing. Just for students who may be either autistic, maybe they're neurodivergent, they've got anxiety, whatever it is, but they're needing a bit more assistance, I would highly encourage the teacher to create an about me poster or an about me piece of paper that lists out what it is that about them, what makes them happy, how many kids do they have, are they married, do they love to play guitar, do they love to go for walks or runs, their favorite food, their restaurant. And this just builds a really nice rapport with the child, so that if they can feel confident, they might ask them about, did you eat Chinese on the weekend? Because I know that you really like Chinese food. Or did you go bike riding on the weekend? And building that rapport means building safety. And it means that the child can show up a lot more and feel like they are really gaining strength and gaining courage in the classroom with the teacher, who should be their most confident person, right? We want that person to be someone they feel really, really comfortable with, and not someone that feels, I'm too scared to approach, I don't know anything about them, this feels scary, I don't want to talk. We want that relationship to be quite fluid. Another good one is going to be asking the teacher prior to create a photo of all the children in the classroom with their names, so that you can practice with your child who everyone is in the classroom and what their name is. It's so much easier to ask someone to play when you know their name. Hey, Jack, do you want to play ball? As opposed to, hey, you, do you want to play ball? See how it's so impersonable. Whereas Jack's like, oh, he knows my name. Oh, great, let's play. There's that automatic. Kids want to play. Kids want to engage, even if they don't know the person. Addressing a person by their name makes them feel special, makes them feel validated, makes them feel like, okay, they know who I am. I understand that who they are. They know who I am. Let's go play. So practicing those names is going to be a really important skill for them to have, so that they can feel confident to approach any of their classmates. This is a good one. Whether you walk to school, or whether you're planning on riding to school, or whether you're driving to school, practice the route that you're going to take, right? And some of our autistic kids are quite rigid and you can only go one way. Others, there's only one way to go there, so that's fine. And others are going to be flexible, and so it doesn't matter if you're taking a different turn. Practicing the route that you are going to take with your child gives them that sense of, okay, I know where I'm going. This is familiar. These landmarks are familiar. This coffee shop, I see this all the time. It gives them a sense of safety, as opposed to pump the brakes. I don't know where we're going. This is making me anxious. What's happening? This is not the way we go. I was expecting to go this way. You've gone that way. What's happening? It's really important to practice that route. And even, I would say, go as far as pointing out those landmarks that maybe your child hasn't seen yet. Pointing out the landmarks makes it easier for them to recognize, oh, it's over here. Oh, it's over there. This is where we're going. It makes them feel like, okay, now I've got 5 minutes to go to school. Oh, that landmark means that I've got 2 more minutes to go to school. We're at school. So it just lessens this idea that we're going straight from home and bang, you're straight there, and there's no time for that transition. Kids love games, right? Kids love games. And so one of the things I used to do with my angel boy when he was younger was to make a race out in the morning of how fast they could get ready. And we would have a scorecard of the different times. And like, obviously we're being safe on stairs and all that sort of stuff, but it was, you needed to get out of bed, brush your teeth, get changed, and come downstairs and eat your breakfast and put your shoes on. And how long did that take? Sometimes it would take 40 minutes, other times it would take an hour and a half, other times it would take 20 minutes. So what did that look like for your child? And having a score sheet and being really excited about beating your personal best. Like, oh my gosh, mate, your personal best was, 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's see if we can beat that. And making it fun, making it into a race, making it into something that is pleasurable, as opposed to feeling like you're like, oh my gosh, I've woken up, I've got to go to school, I'm already feeling anxious, I don't want to go, this is not how I want to start my day. When we're making it fun and easy and something that they can achieve and something they can feel confident in achieving, something they can feel like, yes, I am really good at this. I'm really good at doing this morning routine. And it's something that I can feel happy about within myself, because most of the time, sometimes these kids, our beautiful babies, they feel like they're not achieving a lot because there's so many challenges. Allowing them to feel like they're thriving in one area is absolutely amazing. What have I got next? We are up to number 10, which is, if your child requires movement before school, go for a bike ride, go for a walk, right? Do something that is going to expel that energy if you can. Hard to do if you're a single parent. If you can get a neighbor to look in on one child, or take both kids or take multiple kids and go for a walk, right? Rain, hail, or shine, if your child needs that walk in order to regulate, that is going to be something that you need to incorporate in your morning routine so that they are feeling energized for the day. If they're feeling energized, the likelihood of them walking through those doors is going to be much higher, as opposed to if you're already in the deficit and you're feeling like you can't move forward. Another good one is applying deep pressure to your child's body. Now, as we know, teachers are not able to do this, but this is something, and you can even teach them. We're just going to slightly squeeze on the arms. We're going to slightly squeeze on the legs and on the feet. Okay. I would even go up to the shoulders, up to the neck, and you might even want to gently squeeze the head. But getting that deep pressure, again, getting out of here, getting back into the body, and that understanding that, oh, that's right, that's where my arm is. That is the spatial awareness of where my arm is in space. So knowing what it feels like, so they can feel like they're really equipped with, okay, I'm back in my body, I feel good, let's go. Another one, and this is number 12, is giving your child a high protein breakfast if possible. Now, there's definitely a caveat here. Not all of our kiddos want to eat or want to eat any kind of high protein breakfast. Some, obviously, we know we have a lot of kids who have specific eating trends or picky eating, or they just don't really feel comfortable with specific foods. No problems. If you can, and I really want to caveat this, that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, speak to those guys before you even put anything in plan, just to make sure that you are covering all bases. But a protein powder is a great way to get a protein into your child before they go into school. And one thing, and I'm going to share this with you guys later after I jump off the podcast, but it is the Cocoa Bella chocolate coconut water, which you can get from, I know you can get it from Woolies. I don't know if you can get it from Coles. I think you can. It's delicious. Don't tell anyone. I will put my kids' supplements into that chocolate drink, and it's so yummy, and they wouldn't know any different. So putting a protein powder into that is a great way to increase your child's protein and making them feel fuller for longer, so that they have the brain power to be able to move forward. Now, I'm always going to be, let's get the protein from food sources before we go to protein powders. But sometimes it's unavoidable. Sometimes it's the child's diet is so limited anyway that this is the only way forward. So looking at that as an option, again, checking in with your doctor or your nutritionist is going to be a great first start. And one thing, which I said I was going to do 12, but I'm going to give you 13, is dry brushing. Dry brushing is a great way to get your child, if they're feeling like they don't want to put on the uniform, or if they don't want the fabric to touch their arms, dry brushing. And there's specific brushes that you can use from any kind of OT store, which is you're gonna put onto their arms, and really you're desensitizing the skin. essentially. You're desensitizing the skin to the fabric so that it feels comfortable on them. Other kids have put on, like specific clothing. So Sanguine Crew are a perfect example of putting on maybe a t-shirt that has such a beautiful bamboo feeling. It's really soft, it's durable, it's so lovely, easy to wash. Putting it on underneath the uniform so that the child feels comfortable and the uniform isn't really, scratching the skin. So those are my now 13 tips for you to prep your child for a successful year. It's a lot, and I want you parents who are sitting there going, I'm freaking out, I'm really nervous, I don't know what to expect, I don't know how it's going to go, I don't know what's going to happen. Know that they're going to be feeding off your energy. So if you're nervous, they're going to pick up on that nervous energy, and they're going to feel nervous as well. Do your best to park that nervous energy and really step into the year with excitement and happiness and gratitude, and make the best of the year. Because at the end of the day, we don't know how the year's going to go. We don't know what it's going to look like, how it's going to move forward, the ups, the downs, the challenges. We don't know any of those things. So one foot in front of the other, and just take it day by day. That's all we can do. And having an open and clear communication with the school, clear communication with your teacher around what's expected from the school side, and what we're hoping to achieve from the home side, and how we can really bridge that gap. So I hope that this was helpful. I'd love it if you could share it with a friend, a family member, someone that you think that might need to hear this. In any chance, I think there are so many valid points in this podcast, because we're all trying to do the best by our kids. We're all trying to do what's right for them. And this is going to give you a really good foundation for what you need to do and how you can do it and how you can get the best out of your child. So I hope this is great, and I will talk to you later. Have a great week, guys. Bye.